All objections of the nomination papers that have been filed in accordance with the requirements of Rhode Island General Laws 17-14-14.
Do we have a,
Right.
I think I actually have.
Yeah.
We, the Secretary of State's office received a complaint from Matthew Fecteau to challenge the signatures that were collected by David Norton at the Doyle Manor, 300 Broadway in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. You have copies of the nomination papers. I have the original here. There are 14 signatures that were identified as being obtained at 300 Broadway. One of the 14 was not a registered voter in the city. Now, Mr. Fecteau's complaint...
Is Mr. Fecteau here? Oh.
No, he is not.
Could you stand up and identify yourself?
Yep. My name is David Norton. I'm a candidate for Senate in District 8.
Raise your right hand. Just swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I affirm.
So what we have here are, I have the nomination papers that you have. I also have copies of the voter registration form that I'm going to pass around down the line with you. Also, we're going to do a cross-reference so you'll know exactly what page on the nomination package that you have, so you can compare the signature on the form that you have with the form that I'm going to start with Commissioner Pierce and pass down. On page 2 of your package, the first name that we're going to look at will be Dulcie D. Andrade.
Mr. Chair, there hasn't, Mr. Fecteau isn't here. Nobody is actually here to perfect the appeal.
Was Mr. Fecteau given notice? So
Just walked in.
Oh, that may be him right there.
Thank you. Have a seat. Right. Are we going to examine each signature? Is that, there's 13.
And I thought it was easier than...
Stand up, please.
Stand up? Yeah. Absolutely.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Could you give your name and address to the secretary, please?
My name is Matt Fecteau. I live at 154 Summit Street.
In where? Pawtucket.
Pawtucket.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
know the word. Okay.
Is that the only one?
My question is, I think that Mr. Norton and Mr. Fecteau should also have an opportunity to review what we're doing. I mean, you're just sitting there, but I want you to be able to see what's going on. I don't know, Ray?
Has he seen the documents that are being circulated?
Has, okay. I have another question. I'm sorry to be, but he needs 100 signatures.
As of right now, there are 100.
So, okay, so he has 104 signatures, 13 are being challenged. Okay, so we need to, if, 10 of them are approved, 115?
Well, you have to, in the event there's any judicial review, you have to develop a factual record.
For each one of them,
Yes.
okay.
I believe there are 108, according to the Board of Canvassers in Pawtucket. That's what I was told.
My staff told me that.
I'm pretty sure it's 108.
And we have the papers.
On the same page.
Do we have any testimony from anybody from the local board with respect to the number that were certified? But do we have something that would indicate on the record how many are certified? We should have that information from
I'll let you do this part.
If I'm counting correctly on the papers, the ones where the circle number is what was determined to be appropriate by the board canvassers. But I mean, this number,
That would be the.
that number, the number that's circled,
Is the number they certify.
that's 108.
There's 100.
If I add up all the numbers that are circled, it's 108.
Just so the record is clear, we should mark the copy of of each of these documents, actually. So
I have the original.
you have the original, okay. So the statement from Mr. Fecteau should be marked as,
Exhibit A.
that would be Exhibit A.
Mr. Chair,
They're all on the same page. They're on the same page. I haven't given them a different page yet. So they're all on the same page. Yeah, I'm sure
And then with respect to Exhibit B, there would appear to be 7 pages, is that correct, of the nomination papers that are under review presently?
Still on the same page.
Same page.
Is that right?
That appears to be
All
correct.
right, so we will mark those 7 pages as Exhibit B. Yes, we can mark the originals. Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I'm looking at the challenge for Dooley DeAndre.
Yeah.
And I believe that the signature is identical to that on the voter registration card. I would move that that be accepted as a valid signature.
I second that motion.
But do we have, for the record, the signatures you're looking at here?
From the voter badge.
Okay.
So the next exhibit would be the exhibit of
That would be Exhibit C.
C.
And then we would have to go through each one, just so there's a record in
So
case
there's
this is
record, okay.
reviewed by the court.
So Dooley DeAndre would be exhibit C.
C.
Okay.
So, and everybody's had an opportunity.
So this one is number,
What we could do for C, this is Exhibit C, right?
Right.
We could make this C 1, 2, 3, 4, just so that we have one category.
I'm going to give them to you, the number. C1.
So this
it
is
looks the
C1.
same to me.
There's
And
one
where's
shot.
this?
That's number 8.
Number 8.
Okay.
You're on
go to
one
the
at a
next
time.
page.
Yeah, well,
There's
Mr.
motion on the
Chair.
floor for,
Mr. Chair, I'm looking at the registration form for Donna Ormonde, as well as her signature on the nomination paper.
Yeah.
And I'm satisfied with the signature on the voter registration is the same as on the nomination paper. I move that it be accepted.
Second.
C two.
Before I vote on it, Mr. Chairman,
yes, Commissioner.
can we find out what happened at the Board of Canvassers
These were approved at the board of canvassers.
on these signatures?
These were approved by the board of canvassers, they were challenged by the judge.
On the appeal? Okay, all right.
These have all been approved by the
So
board.
where's the signature?
Oh, okay.
And all of
Next
them-
one,
Page 3, okay, I got it.
Okay.
So there's two, there are two motions on the floor already.
On that signature.
One for Andre and one for, what was the second one?
Ormonde.
All right, there's a motion on the floor to approve
Ormonde.
Amande.
And I seconded the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have
So now
it.
we're reviewing the third signature.
Which is signature of Anne Marie Bonus. Mr. Chair, we've reviewed the signature on the registration card as well as the signature on the nomination papers. I'm satisfied that it's the same signature, and I would move that the signature be approved for the purpose of the nomination papers.
There's a motion on the floor by C3, seconded
C3.
for Anne Marie Bonus. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
This is number 10.
Number 10, same page.
Page 16. This one's okay. Page 16. Yeah.
Okay.
Up there.
Mr. Chair, I'm looking at the matter of Maria Rodriguez, nominated a challenge signature. I'm looking at the registration form, which will be incorporated as an exhibit. And it appears to me that it's the same signature. I would move that it be accepted on the nomination papers.
I second it. There's a motion on the floor, seconded for Maria Rodriguez. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
I'll
Unanimous?
tell you when you go to page 3.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's do it again.
Okay, so this is line
I'm going to do it this one.
Line 11.
line 11.
We're on page 2 with this one.
Okay, we have the matter of Sigme Entwistle. Registration form is in front of us, we've all reviewed it. I'm reviewing the signature, and it seems to me that the signature is the same signature in both the voting record and the nomination paper. I would move that the signature be accepted and that the document be made an exhibit.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor, seconded for the signature of Siggy Entwistle to be accepted. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Unanimous.
Same page.
Next page.
Harper?
Mr. Chair, we have the matter of Rita Sullivan before the board.
Yes.
There's a registration form that we're reviewing and the signature on the nomination papers. Having reviewed that signature, I'm satisfied with the signature on the nomination papers, the same as the signature on the registration form. I would move that the form be accepted as an exhibit and that the signature be approved.
Second.
C6.
The motion on the floor to approve the signature of Rita Sullivan, seconded by Vice Chairwoman Davis. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
Mr. Chair, we have Linda Parker before, challenge before the board. This is, which number is this?
Number 2 on page 3.
Okay.
Page 3, Steve.
Page 3.
You don't have to.
I don't think I
Don't
can.
forget page 3.
A matter of Linda Parker. We have a registration form before the board as well as a signature on the nomination papers. I'm comparing the signatures, and I'm satisfied that the signature on the nomination paper is identical to the signature of the registered voter. I've moved that the document be admitted as an exhibit and that the signature be approved and counted for the purpose of the nomination papers.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion on the floor to, seconded to approve the papers of Linda Parker. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
We also have Anita Perry, which is a challenge signature. We have the signature on the nomination paper. We also have a copy of the voter registration form. After reviewing it, I'm satisfied that the signature is the same and that the move that the document be admitted as an exhibit and that the vote be counted on the nomination papers. The signature be counted on the nomination papers.
Just a second, okay. There's a motion and seconded for the nomination papers of Rita
Sullivan.
Perry.
Perry. Anita Perry, I'm sorry.
Anita Perry.
Anita Perry.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? I'll form behind.
Where's this one?
Yeah.
Oh, got it, okay. All right, matter of Jean Bellevue is before the board here, signature on nomination papers. We also have the original registration, we have a copy of the registration. Comparing the two, they appear to be the same. I'm satisfied that they're the same. I would move that the copy of the registration form be admitted as an exhibit and that the signature be validated and counted for the purpose of the nomination papers.
Second. There's a motion on the floor and seconded for the signature of Jean Bellevue to be approved. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
Matter of Robert Godin, it's also at 300 Broadway. Signatures on the nomination paper, signature on the copy of the registration form that has been presented to the board after reviewing them. I'm satisfied that the signatures are the same. I move that the document be introduced as a full exhibit and that the signature be counted for the purpose of the nomination papers.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Bob. Can I interrupt briefly there? Can I interrupt?
I can't, you're in my way. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
What? Can you wait till we're done?
Absolutely.
Thank you. It's confusing.
All right. Matter of, we didn't vote on it.
Robert, we're going, right?
Yeah. We're gonna vote on it.
This,
Moved and seconded.
this motion is seconded for the signature of Robert Godin to be approved. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes
All
have it.
right, matter of Helen Artist, which is on the nomination papers. We have a copy of the registration form from Board of Canvassers, and after reviewing it, I'm satisfied the signature on the nomination paper is the same as that of the registered voter. I move that the document be admitted as an exhibit and that the signature be counted for the purpose of the nomination papers.
Yes.
Second.
Motion on the floor is seconded for the signature of Helen Artist to be approved. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
Matter of Nora Abdullahad, which is on signature on the nomination papers and also signature on the registration card, a copy of which we have from the Board of Canvassers. After reviewing the signatures, I'm satisfied that the signatures are in fact a match, and that the move that we move that we accept the document as an exhibit, and that the signature be approved for the purpose of the nomination papers.
Second.
Motion on the floor to approve the signature of Maura Abdelahad. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
Okay, matter of Elsie Cooper, there's a comparison between signature on the nomination paper and the voter registration card, a copy of which we have, and we'll move to make a full exhibit. It appears that the signatures are identical, and I move that the document from the copy of the registration form be made a full exhibit, and that the signature be accepted for the purpose of the nomination papers.
Second.
Motion on the floor is seconded for the signature of Elsie Cooper. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
That was, I believe that was
That's it?
13.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I think that Mr. Fecteau wanted to say something.
Yeah, I actually did contact the city about this as well, but several signatures specifically from 300 Broadway. At this point in time, we believe he was trespassing, he was on private property, and I'm not sure if you can invalidate or not invalidate based on the fact that he was actually, could be potentially breaking the law, or did break the law to obtain those signatures, and I'd like to, just some clarity on that.
What is 300 Broadway?
300 Broadway is Doyle Manor.
What's Doyle Manor?
What's that?
Doyle Manor is a private elderly complex. So it's a apartment complex for elderly.
Did anyone file a complaint about it being there?
No.
Oh.
Well, I actually did put it in my initial complaint. They're still following up there, and they're still looking into
I don't think you have
it.
standing to complain about somebody else's behavior.
Well, if he obtained those signatures illegally, I did follow the law when I obtained my signatures, so it does make a statement when.
That's your challenge.
Do you have, Mr. Fecteau, do you have any evidence to present to the board in connection with those allegations for this evening?
I have various emails, and that he was not supposed to be there. I do have those. I am following up with the manager tomorrow, but it's still, they're still looking into the issue.
So nothing to present here for this evening?
Not for this evening, no.
I'd ask Mr. Fecteau if he has any other challenges. Is that the extent of it?
That is.
Mr. Chair, I don't think that's a valid challenge. I would defer to legal counsel.
Well, there has to be, you have to present some evidence to support the allegation. None has been presented. There's been, to my knowledge, no request for subpoena or anything else from the board. So this is on a very expedited basis under the statute, and if the information is not before you, you can't consider it. So the comparison of the signatures is appropriate. You have the documentation you need for that, and that will be the end of your analysis for this evening.
Mr. Chair, if I could just ask counsel a question.
Sure.
So, and frankly, even if he was trespassing, that doesn't mean that the signatures are invalid under Title 17. Even if you accept that analysis, which we don't because
Well,
there's
the
no
allegation
evidence.
is one of coercion, as I see it.
But yet there's no evidence at all.
That's what I'm referring to,
Okay,
right?
right.
yes.
There-
Well, excuse me, sir, they're still looking into that.
That there is no evidence before the board tonight of any type of coercion.
That's
Nothing.
correct, and they're still
Okay.
looking into that, so there could
Right.
be.
Well, that's a political issue, this is a legal issue, okay? And I would move that the challenge be denied and that Mr. Norton be approved as a candidate for the Senate.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor and seconded that the challenge be denied tonight. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.